Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 25 Live Feed Spoilers. This is day 43
Mhm,
of the game. We like to give you guys real talk.
mhm.
Here's some real talk from the start. I am so frustrated by this week. This week is driving me absolutely crazy. I am having these, like, I don't know, existential crises where I don't know what I am as a Big Brother fan, who I'm supposed to root for. Like, what is going on? These people are just making decisions that don't make sense to me.
Yeah, and speaking of that, my girl
Oh,
Felicia, at the time of this recording, she's still going. And she hasn't really been campaigning at all, which has been extremely disappointing and frustrating for me because I feel like she has been playing the game since the beginning. She's been making good connections. She's been doing fairly well. And her not campaigning has been really frustrating. I mean, it's Wednesday. It just feels like what? She's just like, "Oh, well."
yeah, it's I don't want to be like I'm so disappointed in you, Felicia, because you got on Big Brother. You're getting to do this thing that you really wanted to do, which is great. You've made it several weeks, and we know
Yeah.
a lot of the older house guests don't always do that well.
Yeah.
It's just like you have information, you have opportunities, you have things you could be trying to do, and I'm bummed, but okay, here's the big surprise. Felicia's not the only person that is just incredibly disappointing me right now.
Yeah, there's a bit going on in the house right
Yeah,
now, but we're going to make sure that we get into all of that for you.
yeah, but before we do, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are here multiple times a week talking about Big Brother 25, giving you guys a sense as to what's going on, if there are things that make us excited, if there are things that make us just want to pound our head against a brick wall. We
Mhm.
we are here one way or another for you. Hit that subscribe button, and remember, Survivor 45 is premiering later this month. We've seen
Yeah.
the cast reveal, and we will have discussions for that as well.
Yeah, and if you're also watching Only Murders in the Building, the
Yeah,
new Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, Gen V is going to be coming up, American Horror Story. There's a ton
yeah.
that's coming up here at the channel. We don't only cover Big Brother here, so if you're interested in any of those other shows as well, hit that subscribe button and stick with us.
Okay, I know that they've described this as Humilla Week. It really feels like Bizarro Week to me because, like, most of the past couple of days, we have spent watching other people campaign for the nominees as opposed to the nominees like going out and doing it themselves. Like, Felicia, the biggest support that she has gotten are from two people in Cameron and America who aren't even aligned with her. Like, they're not working together. Felicia's been talking about them, and it's like, okay, these are your supporters, Felicia. These are your knights in shining armor to try to keep you in this game.
Which, I mean, makes sense because Cameron has said that he does want Izzy out. But,
Yeah,
Izzy, meanwhile, has had, of course, a ton of support from Suri,
yeah,
who has really worked hard to keep her numbers ever since, that whole kayak punishment ended. And
yeah,
I mean, that makes sense as well. At the beginning, when this all came out, where Izzy was like, I know this secret.
yeah,
I was pretty concerned then that Sari was gonna be like, okay, we need to just get her out. She
yeah.
knows the secret. But Izzy has really proven herself to be dedicated to Sari till the very end. And I think Sari knows what an asset that is.
Yeah, to have like that amount of blind loyalty in this
Yep.
game, like, we could talk about frustrations when it comes to that, like, for sure. But for Sari, of course, this is somebody she wants to keep. And we've covered here at the channel already. Like, 3 was throwing Felicia under the bus before this week even started. And
Hmm.
so for Cameron's bluster and for everything else, like, he's really just kind of doing Cerie's alliance's dirty work in a sense. Like, it wasn't like they wanted Felicia out this week, but they're just like, oh, well, we were going to get rid of her at some point fairly soon anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. America at this point is clearly the most aware person in the game when it comes to like Suri's dominance, Jared being sort of a double agent, and
Hmm.
people, like Jag being constantly played by her. over and over again. Like America is no Cameron fan. Like we've talked about that plenty.
Yeah.
But he has been more receptive to listening to her than other people. And if Cameron is the person who is the most receptive to you, like that is a really, really big problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with this game, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to work with people that you don't always like or agree with or want to be around. This game is all about adapting to situations. And this is the situation that America has found herself in where she doesn't really like
Yeah.
Cameron. But I mean, if Cameron's willing to listen and kind of work with her in some sort of way, then that's how she stays in the game.
Yeah.
Also, America told Jag not to trust Blue and that she's leaking information, and then goes to Cerie's side and throws America under the bus. Like, it's so. Oh, I know.
Heart is breaking.
I know. Listen, she's been more honest with him than almost anyone for weeks now. And
Yeah.
for whatever reason, Jag just like refuses to see it.
This is where my real emotional crisis comes in. And this is a good question for you guys in the comments too, is that have you ever wanted to root for somebody on a show like this or Survivor or any other like so bad, and yet at the same time them be so terrible at the game? I'm such in a crisis with this because like I want to root for Jag so bad because I he seems like a great guy. I really like him, but he just also stinks at Big Brother.
Listen, this is the thing with this game. I know we all get
Yeah.
frustrated
Yeah.
watching the game from the outside because we all have all the
Yeah.
information because we're watching the live feeds, and the people in the house do not have all the information. I mean, the only person that seems to really be on to Jared being a double agent, Cirie really dominating the house is America. The only person who's really like, I see what's going on and I think I need to do something about it, but nobody else sees it's going on. We're into the day 40s here, and
Yeah.
she's the only person that's figured it out. So while as frustrated as we are on the outside
Yeah.
at Jag, it's also hard to kind of be like, Jag, how could you? Because he's on the inside. Nobody else sees it either except for one person.
And yeah, and if everybody's telling you different things, it all gets in your head. Like
Yeah.
I understand why Jag is struggling.
Mhm.
I just wish I could help him. Like I think that's a part of
I
the problem.
know.
And this house isn't giving me a lot of other people to really rally behind right now. Like I was more into Corey in America when it was like the will they or won't they, but now I've waken up and I'm like, I can't support showmances. I just can't. It's too far against my DNA. I just can't. I can't.
Oh, look at
I
you.
can't. I tried. I can't do it. I'll throw out somebody else a little bit
Welcome
later.
back.
Thank you. I feel more like myself. I'll say somebody else in this video later who I want to believe in, but I have my own problems there. But okay, well, here is how America has kind of gotten Cameron to wake up a little bit about some of what she is seeing. She was
Mhm.
able to explain to him on Tuesday night how Jared really worked to cause that big rift between Cameron and Red
Mhm.
that we have sort of talked through, and how, Jared has been egging on Cameron and sort of enabling his behavior. And like Cameron is reasonably awake, but of course, because it's Cameron, there's still problems with it.
Yeah. Cameron, as of right now, is not including Jared in any more of his plans. He wanted America himself, Corey, Jag, Matt, and Bowie Jane to work together,
Yeah.
which if he can make that happen, I mean, that'd be really interesting. But I mean, it's Cameron, and he's been on the block a bunch of times. He's
Yeah.
had HOH itis. Like, it's just not everybody wants to come together with Cameron as the leader. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
This is what happens in Big Brother or in life, where you may have a good message, but if you are the wrong messenger,
Hmm.
it doesn't even matter.
Mhm.
Because Cameron, I cannot think of a person in the game who is a worse messenger for this information. He has tried to have meetings with Jag, Matt, at one point, even Blue. He's made good points about how well connected is he in this is in the game and how dangerous his points aren't all just like I don't like Izzy, but he comes across as so condescending to everybody that like he knows best, he's smart, he's in control. He says things that are just like personal and not related to the game. He called Izzy at one point like a struggling musician, which is really just kind of not even true because she's really successful as far as I can gather
Mhm.
outside of this. He says a bunch of things that make people feel like, you know what? I just don't like you. And if I don't like you, I'm not inclined to believe in you. And that's what Suri is so good at, is that even when she is lying, you like her, and because you like her, you want to believe in what she is saying.
Okay, on Tuesday night, Matt told America that he's keeping Izzy and doesn't want her to feel blindsided. Cerie's been working to get Bowie Jane back with her, and Cameron and America never had Jag. I mean, the numbers they're just not there.
Yeah, it's we've tried to do our own somersaults and backflips and trying to find ways to see that, okay, can Felicia get the numbers, or rather can these other people get the numbers for Felicia, because she's not really doing anything. And it's just there's no real configuration here. Like you need five people, and because like the lack of trust in Cameron, the relationships people have in other places, like there's different things that could be
Yeah.
done, but they're
Yeah.
just not doing them.
I think it's just really frustrating for me because I really, if you guys have been here the whole time, you
Yeah,
know how much I've been rooting for Felicia. But it always frustrates me to watch people on the block just do nothing and
yeah.
not try to save their game, not try anything at all. That is always such a disappointment to me.
Like, here's some stuff that could be done, and I don't know if this would really alter anything dramatically. Like, America could try telling Jag she knows about the Seven Deadly Sins alliance to sort of prove that, okay, people are leaking stuff, that this
Mhm.
alliance is fake. You could kind of try to get ahead of a few different things, and maybe that would sway him, but who knows for sure. But then Felicia, you could try, if you're Felicia, to throw Sari, Izzy, Jared under the bus. Say they're a really tight unit. I know that that would basically be like guaranteeing they would never work with you, and maybe she doesn't have that sort of fear as of right now that like she's going. But if you want to stay in Big Brother, at a certain point, you got to try something. And if it's tonight, like several hours from now, and there's still not a lot of conversation or campaigning, I would be worried if I'm Felicia.
Speaking of conversation, Suri had a conversation with Izzy about sort of future plans and what's going to be going on and who's next. And I think it's no surprise to anybody that the next person would be Cameron. He's the next person that they want to get rid of, that they would nominate Jag in America and then get out Cameron.
Yeah. And like they're even going a little bit beyond that too. Like Cerie's really thinking long term here.
Yeah, she is, because then after that, they want to nominate America and Corey to frighten Corey a little bit, but get out America, which, I mean, both of those plans make the most sense for Suri. These are the two most dangerous people that are going to be coming after her.
Okay, now we'll talk about the tiniest bit of hope for Jack. And this is tiny. This is this is a conversation that happened late last night with Jag, Matt, Corey in America. They have agreed to at least protect and not nominate each other for some time. Like I
Mhm.
I still worry, like, are Jag and Matt really telling the truth? Are they believing all this? Who knows? But I don't think it benefits them to go after Corey in America right now anyway. It feels like Jag is at least aware enough that Sari and Jared are closer than a lot of people think. Like he told that to Matt. And it seems like for now, with like this group and the Matts and Jags and Corys of the world in particular, the major rationale for keeping Izzy is just not to sort of expose allegiances right now. Like we've talked about, Corey and Izzy have been reasonably close. And
Mhm.
if you're sort of a way to cover all of that, and I guess maybe they think, okay, we can win competitions, we can get out Izzy or Sari or other people down the road. It's not like Felicia's coming to us and being like, I'm going to work with you guys if I stay, if she's not campaigning anyway.
No, she's not. But she did tell Nicole late last night that she realizes that Jared, cares more about Suri than her. Shocking. I
Yeah.
know she doesn't know everything, but that's what she's seeing. Since he was afraid Suri would go up if he saved Felicia. So, I mean, it did show some of Jared's hand on that by not using the veto to save Felicia because he was more worried about Suri.
Okay, as we start to wind down this video, let's have a conversation here about Nicole for a moment, because you know how on Game of Thrones, Jon Snow is the prince who was promised. Nicole could be the queen who was
I
promised.
know.
I I want Nicole to be the person who I'm rooting for now, because Jag, I'm sorry, I'm one step away from jumping off the Jag train altogether.
It's amazing that, like, nobody's talking about doing anything with her, and it's not like she's just kinda sitting around doing nothing, because that's not the case.
Yeah,
She's built up some really good social game with people, she's got some information, she's not, oversharing or over she's really, like, it just in a good spot.
she's in a good spot. She's just also she spends too much time with Cerie's core group, and she's kind of left out on this vote to evict Felicia because her and Felicia are close, and because, like you said, she has some relationships that she
She
has
does.
built up, and
Mhm.
she feels like she has all this potential as a player. I really hope that what's happening this week is going to make her wake up and sort of be like, okay, I've got to start applying my pretty obvious skills, because I think Mikol has pretty obvious skills, but start spreading that a little bit around and start really going harder than she has. Yes, she's done a great job of not making anybody target her so far.
Yes, and I think that that's a pretty good spot to be in. For me, if I was ever playing this game, I would never play this game. If I was in a
Yeah,
spot where Nicole is right now, where nobody's really looking at her, no one's really targeting her, she's not getting all the information, but she's getting enough
yeah.
information like that she should feel pretty good. Why start making waves like right in the middle of the game when there's other people that are bigger targets than you? They're shielding you from everything because the people are focused over here and they're focused over here and they're not focused on me. I think it's the right way to go about it, to then take that time to keep building like close friendships and, relationships and see how that can grow. I don't think she needs to go out and start like, setting things on fire and
No,
spreading things around, because the minute she does that, and especially in this house, nobody keeps anything secret.
no.
So except Blue, who hasn't really told anybody about this like mother secret. Like Blue seems to be the person you can trust in some ways, but in general, this is not the group to tell anybody anything. It really is the group to sit back, take in whatever information you can, and then jump in when you actually have to. And I'm not saying just be like a straight floater or
Yeah,
anything like that. She's not playing that kind of
no.
game at the moment. But there's no reason to go in and start splashing around in the water if there's no reason.
Mikol's just the most fascinating person in the game right now to me, and it's just sort of like you said, she hasn't made a lot of waves. She's the only person who I feel like hasn't even shown us all of her cards, and that she has a lot more to play.
Mhm.
We'll just see what happens over the next week or two, especially in the aftermath of Felicia potentially going. Who knows? Maybe Felicia's going to be like, this is my day. This is my moment. I'm going to figure it out. I would love nothing else.
I'm very curious to see how she goes out.
All right. Well, we will be back soon with more Big Brother 25 live feed spoilers. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you to all of our patrons over on Patreon for your
Thank you.
support, and we will see you here next time.